You know that the walls are closing in when you don't have control over your basic private business information,
Mm.
and it's being looked at by unauthorized people. And when I say unauthorized people, I don't mean hackers on the internet. It's a little closer to home. I speak of big government, or the HMRC in this case. They are keeping a check on bank balances of account holders. If there was a debt to be paid to the Inland Revenue and there was £5,000 in the account, they would have a word with your bank manager, and if there was sufficient funds in the account, it was debited to the government coffers, right?
Yes.
Without your permission. Anything above £5,000. This has been going on for just over a decade, and I suppose one could argue that those refusing to pay their large tax bill, even though they had the funds to do it, so then the funds have to be accessed somehow. But that £5,000 threshold, they're wanting to be lowering it to only £1,000. So anything you might have above this thousand will be easy pickings for the taxmen and scoop it up. They'll scoop it up. So in theory, the taxman could wait for the beginning of the month when a lot of people receive their salaries. They may not have time to pay their car loan or rent or even groceries if the Inland Revenue strikes at the right time, because it's only when it goes above 1,000.
Yes. Yes.
At the moment, this £1,000 threshold is only a proposal, and there will be consultations before the scheme will be proposed into law. And if it is, it will break a lot of people,
Yes.
especially those who have little wiggle room to
Mm.
add yet another
Yeah.
billion,
Yeah.
to add the bill on their already overburdened account.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You can tell by my body language I'm seething at this because yeah, I've seen it and I've seen the effects this can have. Um, a majority of people are quite happy to pay their income, their tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is typical of this government we got now in the UK. Sorry, Steve, I'm going to raise an eyebrow or two, show my sheer.
But the five that, to be fair, the £5,000 threshold has been going on for about 10 years.
Well, okay, that's fair enough because yeah, how many people can afford to have 5,000 in their bank account under normal circumstances? And I'm not talking about, yeah, people up this level. We are talking people down here, that the honest plumber going out to work, living hand to, yeah, mouth to hand.
Hand to mouth.
Um, yeah. Um, this government that has always said, oh, we care about the working man, like hell they do. Yeah, like hell they do. Um, that people should be okay. I'm not saying people shouldn't pay their tax, and maybe yeah, people work the systems. Anyone that's self-employed, we have a way of doing it, but we're still paying into the tax thing. And when you see what corporate, how much people with small businesses, etc., paying corporate tax, and that's going to be the people that are going to be hit hardest by this. Um, the government we have in the UK, I'm going to be honest, is an extreme incompetent with money, but wants to grab all the time. Yeah. No. Um, and they're going for the easiest targets possible to do it. And I'm not just blaming this current administration. The one before as well was started bringing things that there was the IR35, etc., for self-employed people, which is not that straightforward to understand. But yeah, when you're in the UK, yes, you do pay tax. And I think it's right that people pay tax. You belong to the club then. But then I want to know what I pay my tax for. Yeah. And I want it fairly done. If you are going to start removing, effectively allowing people to survive, okay. This is what annoys me about this current administration we have. They come up with these ideas. They don't think it through what the knock-on effect will be. You hit you hit people who are barely surviving, and you've already managed to put a lot of people in that situation already. Mr. Starmer, Miss Reeves, you've already managed to put a lot of people in that situation already, and you're hammering them more. Yeah. Because you don't understand and you don't care. The sooner you people are out of office, the better. And yes, I'm going to turn this into a political argument. The tax office is inefficient. It was screwed up by Gordon Brown many years ago, or one of your own people, and you're just adding to the misery now. So, and then you're allowing other people in. You're diverting money quite openly. You are not representing the British voters. I'm not suggesting if we vote another party in 6 weeks or whenever the next general election will be, 2 months' time, possibly, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. That they'll be able to reduce the tax burden overnight. But yes, certainly, I think they're target. I know exactly who these people are targeting. They're targeting the small business people who do struggle, but who are the backbone of keeping the country going. Okay.
I think if we step back and have a look,
Yeah.
this change in it isn't law. It
No.
isn't law. It's an idea that's been put forward.
Yeah.
It's going to be investigated. So that so it wasn't the government that
No.
it's the Inland Revenue,
Yeah.
which is not necessarily the government. But I mean, if you look at what's happened over the last few years, where there's been a bit of an exodus of multimillionaires leaving the UK because of this eat the rich attitude of the left, and I suppose some of the right, I suppose.
Governments in general, yeah.
But I would have thought that the US would have shown that if you lower the tax burden, then they will come.
Yes.
No, if you heighten the tax burden, they will go. So as these people have left, there's going to be a shortfall, and so the Inland Revenue, to keep their coffers full, are lowering this threshold, or wanting to lower this threshold in the bank, to try and get with, because to try and shore up their accounts. I mean, there's always been tax avoidance, tax dodging, tax evasion, if you like.
Tax planning. Let's call it tax planning.
Yeah. Well, whatever under what guise it comes under.
Yeah.
But now they're making it whereas they're trying to get money from people who perhaps could least.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm making. Yeah.
And the knock-on effect of that is going to be if you've got a tax bill of £2,000 and you receive three or £4,000 in your salary, and then swoops down the Inland Revenue to take that £2,000 that's above the 1,000 away, then how are you going to live for the next month?
Exactly. This is the point I'm making.
I've seen reports which we haven't done a podcast about yet. Over the last 10 years, that the British family is poorer by 22%.
I think it's been happening over a longer period of time than that. But I mean, governments for me are very, very wasteful, and I do believe that we've all have a moral duty to be as tax efficient as we can. And I'm not saying people shouldn't pay tax. Of course, that's just ludicrous to even suggest that, and I wouldn't. Maybe the tax system isn't that fit for purpose. Maybe there isn't an ideal one.
In the state of Texas in the US, there is no income tax. There's no income tax.
Yeah.
The prices might be more expensive in Texas, and the government recuperate it, the missing money on the things that you buy.
Local taxes, yeah.
However, if you buy these things, it's because you want to.
Yeah.
You're not obliged to buy these things.
Yeah.
And apparently the state of Texas is doing great.
Well, yeah, yes, I think they have some, I'm not sure, grading system. If you buy food, you pay less tax on that. If you buy a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce
Yeah,
or a Jaguar or a prestige car, you will pay more tax. And yeah, that's it.
it's your choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and certain things probably you don't pay tax on for essentials. This is it. You allow people to live, and then if people, there is this the other side of it always. They sometimes say that people have money, do have a moral obligation to spend it to a certain point. Yeah, because it feeds back into the system. Yeah, it sounds odd. Yeah, okay. Yeah, argue that. Well, how do they get their money in the first place? Well, a lot of my business people have taken risks, successful, so they should be allowed to have a um yeah, the nice sit down lawnmower as opposed to us mow our lawns if they actually do it themselves. But some people do actually. They like to some business people find it nothing better than to work in the garden at the weekend.
Therapy. It's a therapy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they suffer stress. Yeah, okay. So yeah, sometimes if people do have money, but yes, we we do have a socialist stroke whatever government in the UK at the moment that is hitting everyone, hitting the very people that probably voted for them as well, probably hardest because they made all the promises, no more taxes, and did it while they were crossing one of their fingers, and they're not even Scottish nationalists. Yeah, and um, so now I'm going to switch it about a bit. Okay, let's just say another certain party gets elected in. If there's another general election at some point later this year, and another party wins, they've already said, well, we can't actually reduce the tax burden. We probably try and find ways not to increase it. So at least they've been honest. Yeah. Um, but not at first anyway. Yeah. And what, okay, people need to pay taxes. What you said, you've just gone with what I said. Maybe we have to have a look how the tax system works in the UK because it's probably not fit for purpose anymore. The unfortunate thing with governments, the more money you give them, the more they'll waste. Quite literally.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it's still with Andy Burnham on the go. He's wanting to put a number 10 in Manchester.
well,
That is not going to make everything more efficient. It's just going to bloat the system even more.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
the people, I can't believe the people in the south are going to live in the north to keep their jobs in the civil service.
well, they tried
Once
that.
you're in the civil service, you don't leave you die in the civil service.
Yeah, well,
And that they have to employ other people to shore up the Manchester number 10 base, which means more a system bloated even more and more and more. And that requires payment.
mm, yeah, I mean, yeah,
And this latest thing about the DEI hire at the Treasury,
oh yeah,
where they stop doing maths tests for the applicants. Yeah, you don't have to need to add up to work at the Treasury, for goodness sake.
I must admit, I would probably struggle to pass the Treasury exam. And quite right. I mean, yes, I've done engineering maths, quite high level engineering maths, which I've forgotten. But yeah, I could revise. But yeah, I mean, mind you, I wouldn't want to work in the Treasury anyway. But yeah, and that was the biggest shock I had. Well, um, yeah, you got to be able to work out was it compound interest and what expenditure is and that percentages over a period of time, etc., etc., etc. Yeah.
That little bit that Rachel Reeves seems to be lacking.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, is it a surprise when you actually see de facto who the head is? She wouldn't want people, but I mean, I don't know how long's been going on. I think it predates Rachel Reeves. So,
She can't allow underlings to be seen to be more intelligent than what she is.
well, actually, I'm more intelligent than she is.
Yeah, well, I mean, she can't allow that to happen. It's a little bit like the Chinese emperor, who everybody has to lower their heads so they're not taller than what he is.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I saw that, and you know when you see something and you read it and you go, "Oh, I can't remember. I might have seen just something about it." And I thought, I, I had, I just, it's disbelief. Um, I tell you what, there was a radio program. I think it dates from the 1960s. If you want to check it out online, called "The Men from the Ministry," and it was basically people that were civil servants were very incompetent. Forget yes minister. This was, if you like, the complete opposite. This made them okay. The ministers in yes minister were intelligent, smart guys. Yeah, looking after themselves. This program, yeah, the men from the ministry was a radio program that was just totally showed the complete incompetence, and it was a comedy. Um, Unfortunately, it's now a radio documentary. If anyone can catch it, yeah, I'll see if I can, yeah, flash up something on the screen about it. Um, yeah, it was. I listened to some of them. And I had to not turn it off, but I couldn't listen to any more because I was thinking, God, this was from the 60s, and it's like, um, yeah, or 60s or 70s, yeah, and it was like it was warning about life today. It really was, and um, and the way that you and I could see the iceberg coming, and the people, these guys,
Well, look, if you want to be really up to date of being not very bright, you've got the Pedro Sanchez, the president of Spain,
yeah,
is giving an amnesty
oh yeah.
to the illegal immigrants, and he's expecting 500,000 to want this. It turns out there's 1.5 million. There's this, and 400,000 of these people who are wanting this amnesty don't even live in Spain. Work that one out.
Well, I think we probably predicted it before, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's.
well, you just needed to look at Angela Merkel.
Do you know what? Years ago, I spoke to some Germans about, I said, "Oh, she seems quite an intelligent, bright woman." They looked at me as though I just, I just stepped off a boat somewhere, like so
I
to
think
speak.
she, I think she was a Nicola Sturgeon with starch in her knickers.
I mean, okay. Well, I certainly wouldn't applaud her the way that many people do across Europe. I mean, you really have to be living with your head up somewhere else to. I mean, we all know the political elites. Um, I mean, get back to Andy Burnham. All I'm going to say about Andy Burnham, I think he's quite a funny guy, and when he speaks and all that. Um, but to me, he's Keir Starmer with a smile.
Yeah,
If you understand what I mean by that,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So don't cheer about the demise of Starmer unless you know what's coming after him. Yeah. Um. y- Oh dear. Poor UK.